So Ben, if you could, in brief, explain what the Second Amendment actually is.
Sure. So in 2008, the Supreme Court said that the Second Amendment protects an individual right for a law-abiding, responsible citizen to have a handgun, an operable handgun, in the home for self-defense. So that was in response to DC laws that prohibited personal handgun ownership and said that if you had a firearm in the home, it had to be locked and stored away. That's a radical change that happened in 2008. Prior to that, the Second Amendment didn't protect an individual right, and so as a result, we're facing and dealing with a lot of litigation in the aftermath of that decision.
And how has the Second Amendment, I guess, evolved over time? What did it start with, and what does it mean today?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
All right.
I mean, the reality of it is that there is I think still a very real debate about the meaning of the Second Amendment. You know, in 2008, in the Heller case, the court decided by a 5-4 margin that the Second Amendment protects an individual right. At the same time, the right that the court recognized there is a very limited right. You know, it's the right to possess a handgun in the home for self-defense if you're a law-abiding citizen. So all sorts of laws and proposed laws are consistent with that sort of right.
All right. And with the background check system, the way it currently is, what is the difference between the current background check system and the background check legislation that's been proposed with the Fixed Gun Checks Act of 2011?
So under federal law, you only have to pass a background check to purchase a firearm if you're purchasing one from a licensed firearm dealer. So there are all sorts of people who are not licensed firearms dealers, but are still selling firearms. But under federal law, you don't have to pass a background check to buy a firearm from one of those people. Now, the result of that is that people know that there are these gaps in the law, and so if I can't pass a background check, I'm going to go to one of the people that doesn't require a background check. And that's a really dangerous gap in federal law.
Okay. And the 2011 Fixed Gun Checks Act is going to do what to that?
So the 2011 Fixed Gun Checks Act would require a background check every time a firearm is sold. It's just common sense, really. And it's supported by large majorities of people. I mean, you talk to gun owners, most gun owners will tell you, hey, of course a background check is perfectly acceptable. I mean, I would pass a background check. So, you know, the only people that background checks prevent from getting access to firearms are people we don't want having firearms in the first place.
People who by law aren't supposed to have them?
People who are prohibited by law from not having. So we're talking about convicted felons with mental illness dispositions, that people with domestic violence convictions, the sorts of people who are prohibited already under federal law from having guns.